Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and today we are going to be discussing the predictions for the Portimao Portuguese GP here this weekend in real life MotoGP. So today's video we're going to be using Maverick Vinales on board the RSGP. I must confess I do like using the Aprilia in this game, and I was inspired to use it, but also I've got a few other reasons as well. I feel that it's a shoo-in to put the Ducati to win one of the races this weekend, albeit sprint or actual featured race. But to be honest, I've got this little hunch regarding the Aprilias. I think the RSGP could be the bike to be on this weekend here in Portimao. Going back to Qatar in the GP predictions, I mentioned that an Aprilia had never finished on the podium in Qatar at all, which was technically true because they never have finished in a featured race. Although now that we've introduced sprints, and this is the second Qatar sprint in history, Aleix Espargaro and the Aprilia finished on the podium in third place. Aleix Espargaro, a couple of other Aprilia representatives as well, have been discussing that they feel that the aerodynamic package on that RSGP right now is the best in the field in MotoGP. I don't know how they're quantifying this and clarifying that it is the case, but they are clearly confident with the RSGP and the package they have with Aprilia right now. If we're looking at podiums already in the first race for Aprilia, in a track they've never featured on the podium, then you've got to start thinking that maybe they could be featuring on the podium in races they haven't done before. Of course, this is not the case this weekend here in Portimao, because Maverick Vinales finished second last season, but it certainly made me think, what could happen here in Portimao? We know the Ducatis are fast. We know the KTM is absolutely brilliant in the hands of Jack Miller and more so Brad Binder. But with the Aprilias, Aleix Espargaro, the old fox, the old warhorse, he just seems to be getting better with age. Maverick Vinales, if he starts better and finishes and does better on the starts and gets that sorted, he'd be looking at podiums almost every other race. I'm really curious to see how the Aprilia is going to get on this weekend. I really am. I didn't have much hope for them in Qatar, and I was quite verbal in saying that, but I was proven wrong. And top 10 finishes for the both of them in the race, podium for Aleix in the sprint. I'm really looking at the Aprilias this weekend to do something special here in Portimao. May I add, I don't think they're going to win it. Maybe there's a possibility they could, but I don't think that this point of conversation is that, oh, what I'm saying is that Maverick and Aleix Espargaro will be winners this weekend. I'm not sure. I don't think that's the case. I still very much believe the man in front of us right now, Pecco Bagnaia, is the man to beat. He demonstrated again in Qatar why he's the best rider in MotoGP, and I've got to say, I'm half expecting it to be the same here in Portimao. Probably something similar to last season. Ducati, Factory Ducati, Pecco Bagnaia, Portimao. It's just a good combination. He won everything last season, the sprint and the race included as well. So, as far as the victory is concerned, my money's on that man ahead of us. Whether that's going to come to fruition, we don't know. I guess we'll find out this weekend. But something I will mention for the purpose of today's video. This prediction is coming before the practice today when the video uploads, or tomorrow, depending on when I upload the video. It'll either be Friday or Saturday, depending on the day I upload it. Well, I just want to say, from immediate feeling and thoughts and what's going through my head, this is the way I'm looking at it. I'm hard pressed to put the KTMs not in the podium again. I think Brad Binder's going to be right there. I do expect Jack Miller to have a good weekend as well. He does usually look quite good in Portimao, plus that battle a few years ago with Joan Mir. I do see him being up there in the top 5. The only difference is being that the riders around the top 5, the likes of your Marquez, both Marquezes to be honest, Johan Zarco when he was on the Factory Ducati, the other Prima Prama Ducati is obviously not very good right now in the form of Morbidelli, so probably not them. But then you got to look at the VR46 Ducatis. The Pertamina Enduro boys were going to have a better weekend this weekend, I feel. Bez is still very much struggling with the GP23, he's not really adapting well to it, but I'm sure after he fathoms it out, he'll be right up there fighting with the likes of Digia, the Alex Marquezes, the Marc Marquezes, so we'll see how that goes. I don't believe we'll have any surprises with the likes of Quartararo or Alex Rins. I still feel confident in thinking that Alex Rins is still going to have the better season. Judging from what I've heard already in the recent interviews, it definitely sounds like Fabio Quartararo is checking out of the Iwata factory and probably moving on elsewhere, which is actually a very interesting point for today's video, choosing the Aprilia. There's a lot of talk that Fabio Quartararo will be snatched up by the Italian team, but in turn I've also heard rumours of a possible Jorge Martin movement to the Aprilia. Enea Bastianini possibly moving to the Aprilia to make space for Jorge Martin in the factory team. Crazy season is about to become, I swear, and I cannot wait to see what happens in the transfer market. It's going to go absolutely bonkers, I feel. But for now, as I get a little bit out of shape here, I'm going to absolutely clatter into the side of Pecco Bagnaia. Apologies, but right now, priority is the conversation about the Portuguese GP predictions, not necessarily with fighting with Portimao, although it's with Pecco Bagnaia, although I did give him a fair whack into the Tour VIP. So of course, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you're thinking. How do you feel about the Portuguese GP? What's coming in Portimao that we haven't predicted? Is there going to be more surprises? Is Pedro Acosta going to absolutely send it yet again? Or is he going to go a little bit more smarter this time and say, you know what, I'll take my time, I'll feel the tyres a little bit more, maybe I won't be so aggressive. As far as I'm concerned, Pedro Acosta did the best possible thing he could have done, and that is to get himself on TV cameras, get Tech 3 Gas the attention they deserve, and produce a good result, and that's exactly what he did. There's a certain skill to fighting your way up to the front just for that camera time. We've seen it with a lot of older bikes in the past. Getting that camera time is actually worth a lot in terms of monetary value for your team, but more than anything, it's worth a lot for Pedro Acosta to go through it, to learn, to fight with one of the best riders in MotoGP. I say a fight, it wasn't necessarily a fight with Marquez, they were both sort of just riding on track at the same time. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But to be honest, he did do a really good job, and only towards the latter stage when his tyre started to diminish, only then you're really seeing that he was a rookie. Other than that point, he looked absolutely fantastic, so I do expect Pedro Acosta to do well. Don't forget, Pedro Acosta is the most successful rider here in Portimao regarding victories, podiums, and qualification. I think he's still the class as the top most successful rider here in Portugal. I want to think about the likes of the other Aprilias, such as Miguel Oliveira and Raul Fernandez, but I think it's too easy just to say, oh, Miguel Oliveira have a good weekend because it's Portugal, but I'm not convinced. The start of 2023, I would have put my money on Miguel Oliveira winning a lot of races. After getting killed by Marc Marquez, ever since then he's just not been the same level. I don't think it's the Aprilia now, because with the Trackhouse GP they have a lot of support from the Piaggio group and all of the Aprilias, so I'm not sure it's that, but I just don't have much confidence in those two. It's not necessarily anything personal against Raul Fernandez, but I don't see it happening here in Portugal. Raul Fernandez, of course, been successful here himself, here in Moto3. He did have a good qualifying in Qatar as well until the bike decided not to work on the start. So I do think he'll have a decent result, but I don't think it's worth mentioning for the top 5 positions. It's a very tough prediction, to be honest with you. I mean, looking at last year's results, of course, with riders such as Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia, you have to include them no matter what. You have to look at Brad Binder, although he didn't have a good race here last season. You still have to include him for being right up there, near the top. So regarding any surprises, I don't think it will be. I think there'll be pretty much a clear-cut Pecco Bagnaia victory. I think KTM, Jorge Martin on the Ducati, the likes of one of the Aprilias. I'd probably tip my hat more to Aleix Espargaro. I think they'll be eyeballing up the podium. But that's my initial predictions as of today's date. Give it a couple of days until we have the free practice, and then we'll have the post pre-race interviews and stuff like that. I'm doing this quite early on in the week, so we'll see how it goes. I do like to go for just gut feeling before really delving into it, because unfortunately with Fridays I haven't got time to really record much gameplay or to really record much voiceover, so I have to do it now. But I would like to in the future do it after Friday's practice and really have a good feel for it, because right now, when you're watching this video, I could be completely wrong. I could be way off. We'll see what happens. I don't think I was way off last time. I was a bit overconfident with Enea Bastianini winning in Qatar. Of course, that didn't really happen. And of course I didn't also get a chance to do my Qatar GP race results recap. So I'll try and do that for Portimao this time, but last time I just didn't have the time for it. It was very busy for me, but I'll try and get it done for this time around. Maybe I'll do both of them together so we don't miss out on the race recap. But this is the final lap then today of Portugal, so I do hope you've enjoyed the video. Apologies if I've just waffled on for 10-15 minutes, however long this video is. But what I would like to do is introduce you to a comment section below for a good old chat about MotoGP. Let me know what you think the results are going to be this weekend. If you're watching this video now and it's a Saturday or Sunday, then let me know from your perspective from today. Moto E, Moto 3 and Moto 2 are all racing this weekend as well, so if you have any race predictions for them, let me know. Really keen to see how Chaz Davies is going to get on in Moto E. Really excited for that. And I'm hoping the likes of an inclusion of such a rider and character like Chaz Davies will give Moto E the boost it needs. I think a lot of people are very critical of Moto E just because of the electric situation and don't give it the chance it deserves. For me, as a just imploring you to watch it, I would say definitely watch. It's a fantastic sport, it's great to watch. The action in that is actually sometimes better than the rest of them. The only downfall is, of course, is electric bike noise, which I do understand. But don't let it deter you, definitely check it out and have a little look. But that would pretty much conclude my predictions of the Portuguese GP. I cannot wait till Sunday to watch it all. I'll be watching on Saturday's sprint, I'll be watching the qualifying and the practice as well. I'll be trying to fathom out a way to make sure I don't miss anything for this weekend. But across the line, victory it goes for us in Maverick Vinales. I would love to see Maverick win on the Aprilia, but will it happen this weekend? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that is the race prediction results in MotoGP 23. Quick look down the order. Any particular surprises? Not really. Frankie last gets a bit of surprise. Taka in 14th. But I guess that's it. So guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.